Hi, this is Bissonette with another episode of Tips and Tricks. We're back here with the baby. We got the D-ring snaffle in her mouth, and we're going to show you what her next step is as far as training goes. Again, like I said, I have the D-ring snaffle in her mouth. I kind of like using the D-ring snaffle to start one myself. I started off with a rein and horse trainer. He was a snaffle bit man himself, and that's just kind of how I learned how to start these horses. So I like getting them in there, and I like starting them that way myself personally. Depending on the horse though, sometimes we will start off in the halter, sometimes we will start off in the bozal, but she took the snaffle pretty well, and so we're going to start moving those next steps into that. Today we're going to be breaking her hind end around with the rein. We're going to, it's kind of hard to explain, we'll show you. We'll start off on the hind end, and then we'll move that lead rope, that rein, up to the saddle horn, and then we'll go from there. Again, this is just giving her another drill so she can really think and solve her way through it. We want her releasing off of that pressure. We want her braking, and then it also will lead into our backup drill. So depending on how she does, we'll be able to get to those drills and go from there. So before I get started with her, I want to do my flexing. So I want to bring that head in, wait until that mouth is settled like that, and wait for her to pause. That was very nice. She's a little busy with that mouth, so if we can find her pausing and not moving that at all and release off of that, that's going to be the best we can. Wait for it. Make her work just a little extra long that time, and she did really good. Make sure to work both sides here. Looking for that flex. If she's moving, just hold this back of the saddle, let her pack. She's moving that mouth there, so we're going to hopefully wait until she stops moving her mouth, stops moving the head, and just pauses. There. That's where we want to release. Don't be afraid to be a little bit more patient. When they're being mouthy or when they're flipping their head back out, we don't want to release that. We want to wait until that mouth is quiet and that head is quiet. We want them to pose essentially in that spot, and that's going to be the best if we can. Builds a lot more patient horse right there. Okay, she stopped moving her head and she came into that flex a little bit better. I'm getting pretty good at picking these windy days for recording, but we'll try our best to get done with what we got. Okay, so now I'm going to pet. She's kind of thinking, she's guessing what's going to happen here drill wise, but I want to pet her butt so it's no big deal. Now, to start off with, we're going to move this rein around the butt, just like that, and she did a very nice job. From here, we want to move them around us, and then once they step a few times, we're going to step to this hind end, and we want to push this hind end under them just a touch more. Good, right there. All right, now do the other side. I think she's going to be pretty good, so we'll kind of move to step 2. So step 1 would be around that butt. Step 2 is going to be up here around the saddle horn. Be patient, let that head come around. Very nice. I'm going to move her around me. Good. Step towards that hind end. Very nice. Now what this drill does is this allows me to move into my backup drill. So the way that the backup drill is going to work from the ground here is we're going to engage that rein that's around the saddle horn. And once she kind of tips that head, then we're going to come in lightly with that outside rein until she takes a step back. So first rein is this one. We want to see the bend of the head right there. And then we're going to apply the outside rein. She's fighting it just a touch right there. and we release when she comes back. Very nice. Horn rein first. Tip that nose just a little. There. Now outside. There. And that head came down, and we're going to release like that. And then after I get those backup steps, I still want to break her all the way around with that rein just like that. Very nice. All right, we'll move to that other side. So again, a little different angle here. We're starting with this rein. We're getting that head bent. And then we're coming with this rein just back to that saddle like that. So here we go. We're going to bend that head. Okay, then we're going to go outside rein. Outside rein. Release. 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 So again, we got to start here first. We got to get that head bent to the inside. Okay, and then we're going to pick up on that outside rein. There, that head drops down. Head drops down. Head drops down. Head drops down. She's kind of side passing. We want just a little more hind end. Just a little more hind end. There we go. If we want more hind end, we're going to use just a little bit more rein right there. Now that we have her going good there, we'll break her all the way loose. See if she still solves this problem like she did. She's flipping that head just a little bit. So since she is flipping that head a little bit, I'm going to make her move a little bit more. When she's soft, life is easy. She gets to walk. When she's being a little head flippy like that, then she has to work a little bit more. And we just wait until she settles that head just a little bit more. We never want to release when they're being sassy with that face. Otherwise, they learn that's how they get away from that pressure. So even here, we got to just be patient and wait. Be patient and wait. Be patient. She's slowing down. That's a good sign. She's a little extra sassy there. We can move this hind end. Move this hind end. Make her work a little bit more. There. She held that head. Okay. Never release until that head is soft. Other side here. Try this one more time. We'll get set up here just a little bit better. Saddle horn bend first. Right there. And then we're going to pick up that outside rein. There. Right there, very nice. There. Okay, a lot better. Again, once we have that, we will break her and let her come around. If she gets stuck in that, just move this hind end around. This is the trick right here. That backup comes from the hind end, and if it's being weak, it seems counterproductive that you can strengthen that hind end going forward, but we want to push that hind end under there, and that's just going to help out that much more. All right, one last little step here. I'm going to bend her head in here, starting to get her ready for the next step. once she pauses, I'm going to start jumping up and down here. Okay, this is brand new, but this is what we need for her to be able to get on. Wait until she settles. Once she settles, then we'll pet her out. Good. 2 brand new things today here. There. It's weird how much that seems to bother these new horses a bit, but before we can hop on a horse, we have to get them used to that. We're getting closer and closer with her, but we're slowly but surely knocking all those things off. All right, bend, jump, pet her out. She kind of had a little bump there. Try it again. Pet her out. Can't be. There we go. Good. Pet her out and walk her around you. Notice I'm also having my hand up here. Let her start hearing this new sound. Very nice. Oh. Pet her out. Okay, there's just a couple brand new things. Wind's starting to kick up a little bit more, so we'll go ahead and call that a day for y'all. But this is the next week with her, and the next couple drills that I'm working to try to get her ready to get on her and do that, and that's kind of what the process is looking like. So again, thank you for watching this episode. God bless, and hope you guys have a great week.